Access management versus identity management. What's the difference?
Courtesy of idmchecklist.com from Informatics.
You will often hear the terms access management, AM, and identity management, IDM, used as if they were synonyms. The problem is that they are not. In this article, we will examine what identity and access management are, and more importantly, what they are not. Identity management. Identity management is all about authentication. Its purpose is to determine you are who you claim to be. Identity manager applications will authenticate entities, people or devices, by certain criteria such as a username or password combination, biometrics or tokens, or some unique hardware or software identifier in the case of a device. However, an identity management tool is not very user-friendly, as it just authenticates entities against an unsorted list in a database. Therefore, vendors produce identity management products that allow administrators to place people or devices into groups and assign them roles. Consequently, the product can then determine, for example, that the person is not just Joe Smith, but that he is also in the group Finance with the role of Accountant. Therefore, in its purest sense, identity management as a concept is about authentication. However, identity management as a product or service is about authentication and classification. In summary, identity management, in concept, is about authentication. As a product, provisions and authenticates user accounts. As a product, provides mechanisms for categorization such as groups and roles. Access management. Access management, on the other hand, is about authorization. Once identity management has authenticated a user, then access management can apply authorization policy to that entity. Here is where the confusion arises. Therefore, to differentiate the two technologies, identity management creates and provisions user accounts, and then authenticates and classifies entities into groups and roles. Access management then applies authorization policy to those user accounts, groups, or roles. Bottom line. Identity and access management are often confused, and since they are so tightly integrated, they cannot work alone. For example, what is the purpose of authenticating and classifying Joe Smith, the accountant, if there is no authorization policy? Similarly, what is the purpose of applying an authorization policy to a user, group, or role if there is no way of authenticating the identity? What do you think defines identity management and access management? Let us know your thoughts in the comments box below.
And to follow through on the tips introduced in this short article, be sure to download your free copy of the 8-point Identity Management Checklist. You can download a copy of this checklist while it's still available at idmchecklist.com. Thanks so much for stopping by and tuning in today to learn all about
access management versus identity management. What's the difference?